Light blue? Yeah, maybe I'm right. Yep.
Dude, that's the wrong background.
Now I just realized that.
Hey, Annie's last name is Yao, right? Y-A-O? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yuki and I think Henry can't make it today. Yeah, I don't think Henry's here today. I don't think he can make it. I think Yuki, maybe he's not on yet. Yeah. So I think it's just me then.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Game of Apps Showcase. We're so glad to have you all with us tonight. So welcome, students. Students, it's been a long slog, 8 months, I guess. So tonight's going to be fun. You're going to be able to showcase your work and talk about your achievements and your work. And friends and family and teachers and the community, welcome tonight. We're glad that you can join us, and we hope that you get to see a little bit of the work that the students have put in. So let me talk a little bit about what to expect tonight. Okay, so you're going to hear from the students. They're going to talk about basically what they've done and what are some of the highlights of their experience in Game of Apps. So just a quick recap, we had 2 semesters. The first semester, they learned the fundamentals of design and development. And then in the first semester, they built 3 mini projects, just kind of getting the hang of it and getting to understand the process. And then as the second semester, they started working on their big project, the one that they're going to be showcasing, talking about today, and then showcasing in the championships on May 15th and 16th. So yeah, it's really interesting to have worked with them this year. As you know, this year, the whole thing was conducted online. But they still learned a lot of relevant skills, whether it's design, development, but also other skills that are important to their career. So these are skills like project management, teamwork, collaboration, being dependable, time management, all very important skills. So I know that some of them are nervous. Some of them are still working on their final projects. That's fine. They have till May 8th to complete it. But today we want them to just relax. Just have a good time with their mentors, and just chat about their experience. So that's what to expect tonight. Okay. Then now I'm going to hand the time over to Justin.
Hey, yeah. So I was asked to perhaps give everybody a little background on what is it like for the students to go through. And the first thing I would say is that a round of applause for everybody who have went through the program, 24 weeks. It is not easy at all. And why is that, right? Because in terms of building products and creating value, there's really no model question and model answer to it. So the students have been spending that time trying to figure out why. Why is this problem important to solve? And why is that why is it valuable to solve it? From there, after they figure out the why, they have to really think about how to actually make it happen. So it's always challenge after challenge every week across 24 weeks. And, people say that it's the journey, not the results, right? I don't really like saying that. I'm not going to say that. But what I would say is that you are now in what we call the infinite game of building products. And that's really important because being able to not quit is very important in this setting, right? Products have changed from the industrial age where we build machineries to the modern age where we build physical products, and then to the information age where we build websites, SaaS products, and now platforms and services. So it has always evolved, but the act of creating value has never changed across the time. And being able to do that, being able to constantly play the game, so to speak, and never quit is a valuable trait to be with. So a round of applause, I would say, to everybody for getting this far. And I do hope that you will enjoy seeing what they've produced as much as we've enjoyed working together with myself and all the other mentors, working with the students to build, all these incredible ideas out into life. So yeah, that's all I have, Roland.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Justin. Thank you for those. So let me tell you a little bit about tonight's format. Okay, so the mentors in each team will host the interview. So what we've done is that we've divided up the teams into what we call factions. And then each faction is mentored by a team of mentors. And so each faction has maybe 2 or 3 teams. So the mentors in each faction will interview the teams in their factions. They'll ask questions about your project, your experience, what you got out of Game of Apps, things like that. So very, very chill, just relaxed, laid back. Again, this is being streamed to YouTube. So it's some of your friends and family might be online right now, and they might ask a question on the YouTube chat. So if you're watching this and you have a question, please feel free to add it on the YouTube chat. And depending on how it goes, we may be able to get time to get to your question, and maybe the mentors could ask the team the question that you put up. And also during the interviews, the mentors will be giving out a prize to one lucky member in their team. All right, so that's something to look forward to. Just some quick logistics. Okay, so students, to help us out with the logistics, please monitor Slack. Your mentors will be giving instructions on Slack, so monitor Slack. Keep your cameras off right now, but as soon as the previous team is finished with their interview, then turn your cameras on, okay? And then after you finish your interview, then turn your cameras off again. All right, so that's just quick logistics here. So the first team that's going to be on, we're not going on yet, but the first team that's on is Bean Sprouts. So Team Bean Sprouts, if you're okay, you can turn your cameras on now. You're not going to be on the live stream yet, but you can turn your cameras on in Zoom, and then once we get to your segment, then you'll be on the live stream. But if you turn your cameras on in Zoom now, then I can start pinning you up. All right. So this is the order for tonight. All right. So you can see the order of the presentations. And the first faction that we're going to be going through is Team Blue Yellow Remix. Okay, so Blue Yellow Remix. We have Henry, Kitty, and Yuki, who are the mentors in this faction. Unfortunately, Henry can't join us tonight. So hello, Kitty. Hello, Yuki.
I know that I know nothing.
Do not wish for an easy life. Earn the power to endure it.
All right, Kitty and Yuki, you're on.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Season 4 Game of Apps Showcase. I'm Kitty, design mentor, and this is Yuki, developer mentor. Yeah, we would love to take this time to introduce you all to Team Bean Sprout with Arthur, Irene, Madeline, and Andrew. And before that, I would want to put this filter up just to go with the whole Bean Sprout theme.
Nice.
Hi, team. How's everyone?
Hello.
Hi, we're doing great.
Hi.
Excited to be here.
Awesome. So we're getting so close to the championship. How's everything? How everyone feeling so far?
I think we're all definitely a little bit nervous, especially to be first today, but yeah, we're also feeling the excitement.
That's awesome. So what would you say is the biggest takeaway from this past 24 weeks? It went by super fast. How would you summarize it?
For me, it was learning about the design process at the beginning of the second half of the program. It was really interesting to see how we went from a problem to solve into a product, and I also liked learning about user testing.
For me,
That's
I was
awesome.
learning how to navigate Android Studio and especially collaborating with teammates to create the app. It was very interesting to see how Git worked and work with designers and other developers to put together an app or idea.
That's awesome. Anyone else on the team?
I personally really enjoyed learning about Java coding, like the basics of Java coding, and using Android Studios to make our projects, as well as organizing like my time when working on the mini projects, and learning the process of creating an app.
That's awesome. I mean, do you
Yeah.
have anything?
Lastly, for me, I guess, I think I definitely enjoy learning new concepts for coding, especially since coding was pretty new to me, starting in Game of Apps. And I also really enjoyed working in a team. I think problem solving as a team, that was really interesting to work through ideas together. So I think that would be my takeaway.
That's awesome to hear. So yeah, let's talk a bit about your team's app. Like, what is your app about? And like right here, you can see it's called Hey You. How did you like know this is the right problem to solve? And what is your app about?
Well, our app is a community building app. You can post events and as well as just regular text posts that the community can interact with, comment, save, and it also has a calendar. We called it Hey You because it's like saying, hey, you. Yeah, it was kind of difficult to come up with the idea and the problem at the beginning. We were going through a lot of different ideas, and then we found out some statistics about how much people aren't connected with their neighborhood. And we knew it was the right one because when I presented it to the team and we talked about it, we found out that we all had the same problem. So that meant that, yeah, it's a real issue that we should try to solve.
Yeah, just to add on to that, I think while our team discussed together this issue, we realized that many of us don't even know our neighbor's name. And a lot of times, like, we don't really participate in the community either because maybe there isn't like a really easy place to find all these opportunities together. Or sometimes we don't really feel connected or familiar with our community in the beginning. So we don't feel comfortable participating at all. So it was definitely a common problem that we noticed. And I think overall, we really just felt like getting people connected again was really fitting for this year's prompt of making the Earth great again.
That's awesome. I believe that that's going to be like, even with your app, going to help, generalize a lot of this opportunity for everyone. So let's take a turn to like talk to the developer on the team. Have you done any programming prior to joining this program?
I have never done any programming of any sort prior to joining the program, unless you count Scratch as programming. Maybe I did some really basic things on there, but basically, other than that, I have not done any sort of programming before this program. I did not know what about the different programming languages, and I didn't know how to use them.
Yeah.
What would you say your programming skill right now? Like after this program?
Right now, I can definitely say I now have some knowledge about coding for Android devices in Java, as well as coding in a bit of HTML for XML. I'm definitely not a pro at this. I still suck at writing complex code, but I've definitely acquired some new skills, especially improving existing code.
Awesome. Irene, you were saying you wanted to add something else?
Yeah, I think we were all just going to go through our experiences. Like Arthur, I've also never had any coding experience outside of the rudimentary coding ideas from scratch. So aside from that, coding was completely new to me, joining Game of Apps. And I think after Game of Apps, I've definitely seen improvements in learning coding concepts and coding skills. Like, for sure, not a skilled developer at all, but I can definitely say that I've picked new things up. And I think especially with Game of Apps and with some dev challenges that really pushed me to just try problem solving in coding on my own, which I really enjoyed.
Awesome to hear. I think we only have a few minutes left, and I do want to use this time to, give some time for the team to say a few words to the audience to rally up some community shows. Do you have anything to say in the last few minutes? Like vote for us. So yeah, definitely there's if you download the app, Game of Apps app, go and start community vote, choose Hey You and be able to get them through championship. I do, so like Roland also mentioned, we are like Mentor is also trying to pick a team member to give a little gift. It was really hard between us. We would like to, present a gift among us, a little plushie to Irene. Like we would think to, she really demonstrated a lot of the team effort. And then also, from the development side and helping with the design. So we would like to give a little gift for you and the team.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So I think this is the time we have so far with the team. Any last words? No? Right.
I don't know, Madeline, do you want to say anything for our team?
Oh, yeah, just we worked really hard on this. We did our best. Vote for us.
Thanks, team.
Right.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. So I am working with another team also. And I want to introduce you all to Team Vancouver Island. Actually, let me do a quick. So up next, like what I mentioned, it's Team Vancouver Islander with Stamp, Coco, Alex, and Zach. This team is really fun team to work with, and even like over here, you can see they've been drawing a little illustration themselves. Hi, team.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Good.
Hi.
I'm excited.
Awesome. So how are you all doing today? And definitely this is like a chance for us to really talk about your app. What would you say is the biggest takeaway from this program so far?
The biggest takeaway from this program that I can say is that like the communication and team working. I learned a lot and a lot of hard work from all of that management.
Awesome. Coco, do you have anything to add?
I would also say time management because I'm also graduating this year. So that was a lot going on, and yeah, the test and everything.
Yeah, definitely time management is a big thing throughout this program, especially for like grade 12s, like with a lot of exams and also with like, trying to get through, trying to understand like the detail of the problem, pushing through and getting it done. So kudos to the whole team. Yeah, actually, can the team walk us through the app? Like, what is your app about? Why did you pick this problem to solve?
I can say for it. So our app is also another community help volunteering app. Like we help the user to. Oh God. Coco, can you say it?
It's like a volunteering app. It's for everyone, but mainly for students because as you know, like we graduating this year and it's a requirement to have 30 hours of volunteering. So it's necessary, and sometimes we find it hard to find opportunity, and this app give them opportunity like based on their interests also.
Yeah.
And what would you say, like, you mentioned about the student volunteering hours. is that like the design? What was the design decision around it? Like why? Even like what did you take? Even when you design your app, like how did you go about trying to understand your user?
So
Yeah, I'll go.
okay. Oh, okay. So our app was designed around the base of collecting all the information for the user to have it all at once, so they don't have to navigate through a lot of process to get to that page. Instead, we have all of them right in one application, so that they can navigate easier to just volunteering. Yeah, that's the basic concept of it.
And we also did some survey to help us design better. We created like Google Forms and post them around school and let the student help us.
Sounds awesome. And I noticed like the developer of the team hasn't joined us today, but from like both you, Snap and Coco, our designer, has it been so far, like taking on the the designer role and working with programmers or developer? How's that been like so far?
It's pretty difficult because like as a designer we sometimes think it's big for the developer cannot make it, and some part we have to like slow down and then make it more simpler for the developer to understand. Cause like when we try to explain some of our idea to them, sometimes they just won't get it or they cannot make it happen. Maybe like they haven't not reached that level of developing or coding yet. It was a struggle, but we managed to get our way there.
I think we also develop a lot about time management as a team because in like the first mini challenge we took too much time designing it and didn't leave enough time for the developer to develop the app. So.
And if you were to have extra time, or what would you do, or what improvement would you do to your app?
Like just for design, just for like designer or like for the whole entire group?
Anything, like even the whole process, like how would you want to do something differently? Would you take another direction with the design? How would you, if you have more time?
If we have more time, I think I will give more time to the developer so that they can do all that coding without rushing through it and cut some budget quality of the application. Because so far that's for the past 24 weeks that's what's been happening. Yeah.
Yeah, Coco, go ahead.
Oh, I said like, yeah, I agree with them. Because we also took time to do the survey and stuff, so that took like a few weeks to get through that. But I know it's also important before like designing it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it is going back to the time management and all this stuff. Like it is a hard skills to grasp. Let's actually take a little step back, because right now we see the logo right here, and I think like the team has been utilizing this like a while to come up with this logo. Would you want to talk a little bit about the idea around it?
The idea around it, well, we used to have a lot of concept art going on around, and then I kind of the one who in charge of the logo. So I just going around try to do a lot of stuff and testing how it visualizes with the other things, and at the end I just come up with this hand logo with a not perfectly sphere circle. Yeah.
And obviously the hand represents participation, and is the main thing about volunteering.
Awesome. I actually see our developer online right now, Zach.
Yeah.
Are you here?
Hello?
Awesome. You're here. Awesome. And even author. Oh no, it's not. Sorry.
No.
Is Alex online?
Nah, Alex can make actually.
Awesome. Well, I do have a development question
Yes.
similar to the previous team. Have you done any programming before, prior to this program?
I did a bit of JavaScript and stuff like that previously. And yeah, I guess compared to like using Java and like Android Studio, there's like some similarities, but like a bit different. Like especially using Android Studio, like before I used like Visual Studio Basic or something. And like using Android Studio and like it's quite different actually. Like for once, like Android Studio is actually like you can do a lot of stuff without actually coding. You can just like click on like the design aspect. You can like just like the XML stuff. You can like just add a bunch of stuff by like just clicking on certain buttons, and like it automatically generates the code for you, which I thought was like pretty nice.
That's good. That's good. Any challenging moment throughout the program?
Android Studio is kind of like I don't know, my laptop's kind of bad, but like running the emulator kind of like kills it slowly. So I guess doing that like also like waiting for it to like completely like finish like the Gradle process or whatever. Like sometimes it's kind of annoying, but yeah, it's pretty good, I guess.
It's the tech. Awesome to hear. So we do have 1 minute left, and likewise, the other team, Venture actually discussed to able to like pick a team member. It's kind of hard, but we actually picked Stamp for to get the Monster plushie because I feel like Stamp had been demonstrating a lot, leading the team and moving forward like the whole design and the problem space. So thanks, Stamp. Yeah. All right. I think that's all for us right now. Next up, I think we have mentor team external snow. So we're gonna sign off here. Thanks, team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Vote for us.
Grow up and take on responsibilities.
The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is now.
I got a feeling.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm just having some technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. Hello. Awesome. So, howdy, everyone. We're the White or Eternal Snow faction, and let's get right onto it. So, the first team that we're going to be introducing is Team Awesome Team Awesome Apps from Steveston, London. And they are actually a quite young team, still trying to figure out their way around high school shenanigans, and they have a lot of extracurricular commitments as well, on top of Game of Apps. So with that said, they did have quite a bit of a rough start at the beginning, and the team would like to share with you all on some of the learnings because there has been a lot of learnings from that. And I will jump over. Is Telika on the line with us?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to point the first question to you. What would be the biggest team challenges you guys have faced, and what did you learn from it?
I think the biggest challenge our team faced was communication. In the beginning, we didn't really know how to communicate with each other and talk about the app that well. So all the elements of the app didn't really flow together. And we never really met up other than when we had to on Tuesdays. But then we realized that the mentors helped us realize that we needed to start communicating better. So the first thing you guys helped us do was have a short meeting where we just got to know each other better. And we played Scribblo and talked a little bit about ourselves. After that, we felt like we knew each other better and we could communicate better after that. So I think the biggest thing we learned was how important communication was and how to actually do it well.
Definitely. So, to all of you other people out there, if you've ever gone into a room with a bunch of strangers, always good to break the ice with something, just so you can get to know a little bit with each other. And especially with this program this year, everything was remote. So, even though some of you guys all went to the same school, but some of you guys were in different grades and you never really got to interact with each other. So I'm glad that doing that icebreaker actually helped you guys get on uh, being able to like connect with the team a little better. So does anyone else want to add to this comment on the team? I see, Solar, you have your camera on.
Yeah, after the icebreaker call, when we all did the communication, we started taking like 2 calls per week, once with the mentors on Saturday and without the mentors on Thursday, which like helped us a lot with the communication.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
communication is always key to good teamwork. So let's actually bring on to the next question now. In knowing that communication is important and you guys learned a few things new or a few new tricks up your sleeves to talk with strangers next time. So Carter, I want to direct this question to you. What would be some advice you want to give to your friends if they wish to take Game of Apps for the very first time?
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
If your mic is working. Yeah.
Yeah, my internet connection is just a bit weird. Yeah.
No worries.
Our communication was tough, but we worked through it as a team together. So it came nicely together at the end.
Yeah. So what would be some advice you want to give if you have friends joining Game of Apps for the first time?
Ooh, if a friend of mine were to join Game of Apps for the first time, I would tell them that not to be afraid to ask for help. If you ever don't understand anything, your teammates and the mentors are there to help you. And I think that everyone around you, since they're able to help you, it'll help you form your app better.
Definitely. All the mentors here, they've dedicated their time and all they really want is to help you guys build your apps and to build your future careers as well. So I see Isaac is also on the call. Do you have anything else to add to this point?
Not really.
Not really? Okay. How about we jumped into the next question then? So in knowing that communication is important, like being able to like utilize icebreakers, what else? Being able to like seek for help when you need it. How would you intend to apply some of these skills in your future endeavors? Let's get Talika to start us off.
Well, all the skills that I learned in Game of Apps, including the communication and teamwork and everything, I think you can apply it pretty much in any career and any field that you work in, because all fields require you to work with different people, because different people have different skills. So you need to work with them and you need to know how to communicate with them.
Okay, cool. Thank you for the answer. So unfortunately, we only have 1 minute left, and we do want to get on to some fun stuff. So the most awesome team member award on this team goes to Nico. Oh, you can't really see it. That would be Tilika. So we wanted to give this award to her because she keep expressing that she had like the most busy schedule out of all the team members, but she still took on the initiative to keep the team together and maintain good communication, even though like they were about to quit as well. So well deserved, and we hope that the award that you get will bring all the good memories along with it too.
Thank you.
Awesome. So thank you, everyone. And let's bring on Team SMHK. So who do we have here? Do we have Marcus, Cashton, Henry, and Samuel on the line with us? Okay, I see Marcus. I see Samuel. I see Cashton. I say a little hi. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So
Hello?
just so we-
Hello.
Hello. Do we have Cashton and
Yes, I am here.
Okay, and Henry is still eating dinner apparently.
Yeah.
Yes. we are
Okay, so
kind of not happy
hopefully,
about that, but it's fine. Hopefully, we'll get back soon.
yeah, hopefully he'll be able to make it before we end. But if not, then I hope he has a very nice meal. So here we have Team SMHK or something K. Well, it's actually the abbreviation of four bright guys on the team from Burnett and Rockridge Secondary. And they've actually been quite consistent with their deliverables during weekly syncs. So we're interested to know, like, what were some of your team's proudest moments during the program then?
I will say that the proudest moments that I've seen out of everyone was when we came up with the idea for the app. It kind of was like we were struggling and we kind of had an idea, but there was a point where we kind of just flipped the whole idea upside down and decided to go with what we are going to do now. There's another moment though that I think is pretty similar, but it's for a specific member, Marcus. He is the other programmer other than me. He used the Google API to create a map, and I think that was probably one of the harder parts of the coding. And I was pretty impressed with that. I'd say those are our two proudest moments.
Okay. Do you actually want to elaborate a little more on what was your previous idea and how you got to your final idea now?
Our previous idea, I forget what it was exactly, but I think it had something to do with the environment and recycling. And we kind of were just like taking the whole make the earth great again, specifically from the environmental perspective and no other perspectives. And I think it was you, Janice, actually, that told us that we probably can think of other ideas. And then we decided to go with what we're doing now, which is an app to help people around the neighborhood report hazards that are on the ground or sidewalk to enable faster response and dealing with it by the municipality. And it kind of just completely changed from helping the earth to helping communities. I don't know. It felt like a much bigger change when we were actually thinking of the ideas.
So how about Samuel? Do you want to elaborate on like how did it feel going through that really big pivot?
Well, I'd say it can get kind of dramatic, like, with like, such a big switch and completely different topics. Like, I mean, I can handle it, like, because, I can talk about those topics, but like, given that we weren't like too deeply invested into like the environment in like original topic, I think it was like, we hadn't gone too far into so like we could switch and not lose that much time.
Yeah.
Yes, we are definitely able to switch.
So, to everyone else, what we learned here is that you don't always have to marry to your first idea. And if you just dig a little deeper, look around you a little more, there's actually endless possibilities of problems and solutions that you can create. So, we do have a few more minutes. So, let's do one more question. How about let's direct this question to Marcus. Before coming into Game of Apps, what did you hope to learn and accomplish, and were you able to get out of it, or?
When I first joined Game of Apps, I really just wanted to learn how to code apps and how to improve my teamwork. And I think I did that, since with like the mini projects, they force you to work with your team a lot, and especially the final one. And I also learned how to code with like the coding lectures and then like the challenges every week as well.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah.
Yeah, I could say something about like what I hope to learn, what I got out. I mean, I did have a bit of experience in design, like just before coming into Game of Apps. Like, I like to think I gained a great deal of like design experience, like how like on like color palettes and like critiquing sort of certain design schemes. Like, I found that quite useful to apply to like other experiences, such as like school projects and other sorts. It's been really useful. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So great to hear that everyone got to take away something out of the Game of App program. So with our last minute left, we're going to give out some awards to the most valuable player on this team. And we actually wanted to give it out to Henry, but he's busy eating dinner. So you guys might want to forward him that, and he might randomly join us. And the reason why we want to give him is that just ever since the beginning of time, it seems like he's been acting as the liaison between the team and the mentors. And his attendance was almost perfect. And so that's why we thought his communications are on point to earn this award. So let's congratulate him. Yeah. Okay, so thanks for the chat, team. And we're going to move on to mindless students now. So do we have, let's see, we have Freyan, do we have Daniel on the call? And I believe Rosie is here too. Okay, so we have
Yes.
Daniel. Okay, got Freyan, and not sure if Rosie is going to join us. She might be here somewhere, but let's get started because time's running out. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Okay, want to get to the meat of things. So the last team we want to introduce is the mindless students from McMath. And this is actually an older group. So let's hear how Game of Apps actually helped them figure out where they want to head towards in post-secondary, and if they're still considering in going into the tech industry. So the first question, I want to direct it to Freyan. When you first started, or when you first heard about Game of Apps, like what were you expecting?
So, when I like the way I found out about Game of Apps was both from my teacher and my friends, because I believe two of my friends went for last year or 2 years ago. Sorry. Their experience was pretty good. So I was like, okay, I wanted to get into coding field because my only knowledge of coding was HTML and CSS, but it was very minor because I took in grade 10. So I was, from the name, I was mostly expecting game making But after looking into it, I was like, oh, okay, so it's just basic app making for your casual app. So I was like, okay, yeah. So I was just mostly expecting just coding and stuff. I didn't really expect anything on the design field. But yeah, that was mostly all.
Yeah, and so what about the other team members? Did you eventually get what you wanted out of Game of Apps? Daniel, do you want to tell us a little more?
Yeah, I would say so. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I knew that I would be learning about like design and all that, but I didn't really know what was going to happen. But yeah, I liked it. I got to work with like the same group pretty much for the minor projects. And sorry, the question was, did I get what I wanted out of it? I would say yeah. Yeah, I had fun. I worked as a team, and I learned about design. That was good.
Yeah. Hey, Rosie, do you want to tell us a little more on what you were expecting and what did you end up taking away from Game of Apps?
Like Brian said, I also thought it'd be like a game making thing, but I never really had any experience. Well, I've never had experience with like coding or anything, so I actually didn't know what to expect. So I guess compared to before, I have some knowledge of coding, although it's like not a lot, still some. Yeah.
So with having some takeaways, was there any other, was there something else that you actually wanted to get out of from Game of Apps? Freyan, do you want to start us off?
I was mostly hoping for just not like a full course on like other coding apps, but maybe just like an intro or like examples to other coding. Cause I mean, Java is a good like way to start off because like you can easily do it for free with Android Studio. But it would have been nice to like get a look at like other coding languages, and just more of what to expect in the industry. Because like there was a few like showcases with like industry standard stuffs, but there wasn't enough to get an idea of. Well, in my opinion, but yeah, I was kind of hoping to see what was in the industry more.
Does Daniel or Rosie have more thoughts to that?
I think I got everything that I wanted out of it. I wasn't really knowing what I wanted out of it, but I got what I wanted.
That's awesome. How about you, Rosie?
I think having some knowledge is better than having none at all, since I'm not like pursuing like a career in like programming or anything. I think it's like sufficient.
Cool. Okay, so we are at our final minute, and you know what that means. Award time. So the last award coming out of our hands would go to Daniel Blackmore. And applaud. So the reason why we want to give this to Daniel is because when the team had a designer dropping out, he mindlessly took on the design lead position and fully control all the design direction from storyboarding all the way to mockups, and so that they can hand it off to the developers. So way to go. And now I will pass it over to Leah to introduce our next batch of students.
Thank you.
Lights and fires are the flowers of Edo. One of the mentor skills is a lie.
Never stop learning. Stay curious.
Wake up your luck.
All right, all right. Hey everyone. Today we have two teams that we're going to talk to today. First off is Team Dogecoin. I was about to call you Dogecoin, but not the right team. Okay, so we just have the team filing in. Hey William, hey Harry. Perfect. Okay, Freyan isn't on our team, but we'll roll with it. Okay, so hey team. So you kind of saw the general roll of things right now. So I think we'll start off with how are you doing? How are you doing today? We can't hear you.
I think we're doing great. Is Jimmy on here? I think we need to add
My video is having trouble. It says cannot start video. Failed to start the video camera.
Uh-oh.
Please select another video camera in settings.
Awesome.
Can I try to like quit this call and then rejoin and try again?
Yeah, sure. We'll keep going with the questions for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome. So Dogecoin, Dogecode. I do have a few questions for you and the team. First and foremost, can you tell us what your app is about?
All right. So our app is sort of it's a learning app, and what it does is it's meant to teach people about the dangers of misinformation on the internet. We know that information is something that is available in great quantities online, but we also know that misinformation is becoming more and more of a problem as information becomes more and more accessible to everyone. There's more opportunity to exploit and sort of mislead vulnerable people who may be inclined to believe something that's other than the truth. And then what they do is that then spreads to other people and it becomes a sort of downward spiral. So our app aims to address this issue by teaching people certain techniques that they can use to identify what's right and what's wrong, and just overall be a bit safer on the internet.
We also have a feature where the user can put in a claim, and we'll use the GoA API to give the user results about the validity of this claim. You know, the sources, the credibility of the sources. It just analyzes like, space lasers caused the Californian wildfire. You know, that would be something that's not true. Or like the Earth is flat. So it provides fact checking as well.
That's awesome. Yeah. It sounds like a really, really complex problem that you've tackled here. So, what was the most challenging aspect of I guess like this whole process so far that you've experienced?
I think starting off is misinformation online, while it's very prevalent, is also something that doesn't get the attention it deserves. Of course, with like last year's election, and then that's where we can draw on our inspiration from Make Earth Great Again. All the elections and politics, there's a big thing on Twitter about misinformation, right? But then afterwards, it's sort of like died down. Misinformation online is not something a lot of people want to pay attention to. So one of the main struggles we have to overcome is how can we present it in a way that can reach more people and then be a bit more accessible for people to learn about it, like just even outside of a classroom environment, or even for people who not necessarily know too much about this problem and don't know that they themselves are also vulnerable. So I think the biggest part of what we have to get through is how can we design our content and design our app in a way that can reach as many people as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a pretty big challenge. And as your mentors, we've seen you guys address address those issues. So great job. So what were some of the things that you learned from Game of Apps that was eye-opening for you? Like things that you kind of didn't know that you know now?
Basically everything that we learned in Game of Apps.
What do you mean everything? What does that mean?
Like, just the development stuff, design stuff. I really never touched this in depth before Game of Apps, and I think it's a good opportunity for me. And including last year, I was here last year as well. I've been here for 2 years. Well, I'm a veteran, but yeah, I learned a lot in Game of Apps and like working with other people too. I wasn't really open to working with other people before, but last year I met some really cool people, and this year as well. So working with other people and specific technique skills, very cool.
Yeah, I would also add on to that more like because this year is everything's completely online, and that was something that I didn't expect would end up working for us, like how an entire team dynamic would work online and how we got to know each other without even meeting for some of us not meeting face to face. So I think that was another thing I ended up learning, having an entire work process of doing things despite not being able to meet in person.
I'd like to add on, since I'm a developer, I also mostly what I learned about is going on to Stack Overflow, learning how to Google things, and trying to fix software issues by going on to YouTube. Yeah, Code and Flow is the best YouTube channel for mobile development.
Professional Googler.
Yes.
Stack Overflow saves lives.
Yes.
Awesome. That's awesome. I know that we have 1 minute left. So in this last minute, I do want to hand it off to Pravisha to talk about who we're awarding the Black Among Us Stuffy to.
I guess I have to go. Okay. Award time. The award goes to William. The reason that the award goes to William are first, he did his own research outside the code material and what we cover. The second reason, he was very active on Slack and have good communications. Also, he worked very close with the designers to make sure everything's get aligned. So we decided to choose William for these reasons. Congratulations, William.
Ooh, William.
Thank you.
Awesome.
But it's all about the team. The team is great.
The team is great. Okay, so that's about it for our time today with Doge Code. Please vote for them. They are a great team. Their app is great. Yeah, so now our next up is Team Icaro. Thanks, Doge. Okay, let's see. Doge Code, Icaro, please turn on your, oh, there we are. Tyler, I see you got the background going. Good job.
Somewhat. I mean, you got the window. That's all we got.
Yes.
At least it's not my face anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So again, first and foremost, how are you guys feeling today? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. This is fun. This is a space for all of you.
Where's the rest of our team?
Okay, so me, Pravisha, and Amir have context as to what your app is about, but our audience does not. So can you tell us like what it is and what motivated you to tackle this problem?
Yeah, so our app is essentially like a mental wellness app that's targeted towards teens of our age and maybe university as well. And it's basically a journaling app that has extra features, including tracking hydration and sleep schedules. And basically users are able to input their data and we can
actually give them back like an optimal sleep time or hydration amount that leads to a good mood. And I think Athena's going to talk about like what motivated us to keep on doing this.
Yeah, so one of our biggest motivations was just helping our generation and like kind of like high school and university. And we have first-handedly seen like a lot of teens and kids struggle around to having like a work-life balance and balancing mental wellness. So with this app we have created, as Jen mentioned before, we have taken in from a lot of users studies from our peers, friends, etc., to realize that a lot of them do find that it's really helpful to jot down their feelings and just keep track of their habits.
That's awesome. I remember like we talked a lot about the research that you all did with this app and leading up to like where it is right now. So can you tell us like what was the most interesting piece of insight that you got from your research?
I think that the most interesting part that we learned, since this isn't just something we know right off the back of our head, we had to, as a group, we worked together to communicate and learn a lot of the background about like our teens actually struggling with this issue. So we have realized that around 50% of teens around our age really struggle with mental wellness and because they find that it's difficult to communicate with adults or like find actual trusted adults to talk about their struggles with. So that was probably one of the biggest insights that we learned through this project.
Definitely. Okay, so can you? All right, so I know that like we've been working remotely for the past couple of months and stuff like that. What was the most challenging aspect of working in a team in a remote environment for you all?
I think definitely it was the virtual nature of everything that was making it hard, because usually if it was in person, maybe you'd be able to like grind people more and like push people to do their work. But online, it's more like texting them and asking, "Are you done?" But I think overall we were able to communicate effectively and make sure everyone was on the same page. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so winding down to our last couple of minutes here. If you had one piece of advice to tell your past selves or even like future Game of App students, what would it be?
I think that like something that I've learned personally is just that having good time management, having good communication is really important, because in the beginning we kind of struggled to talk to each other and like create something that we all agreed on. We had like a bunch of ideas and sometimes we weren't on the same page with everything. But yeah, if I think so now we're kind of in the last week of everything, and it's a bit rushed because I think we spent too much time in the beginning struggling to finalize an idea. So I would give the advice to probably communicate, make sure that you've come up with something good right in the beginning, and don't keep pushing things off because you will regret it.
That's really, really great advice. All right, in our final minute, Vivisha, would you like to talk about who our winner is?
Thank you, Leah. So for Ikoro, I, Leah, and Amir, all of us think that Angela deserves to be the winner because she showed, other than just doing her the developer side of work, she showed a lot of leadership skills. She took charge of communication and also, like she mentioned, time management, talking to her peers. And she also attended all of the design meetings, and that was she worked really closely with her teammates. So Angela, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congrats, Angela. Woo! Okay, as a token of our appreciation as mentors for both Team Icaro and Doge Code, we also have these. Oh no, they're all disappearing. But these Among Us keychains to give you. So you'll get them later at some point, someday. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But okay, anyway, we're handing it back to Lime Time now for Linda and Annie to talk about their team.
If you're going through hell, keep going.
Knowledge is power.
Cool. Hi. Hello, everybody. We are Team Lime. I guess the first team that we're going to bring up is Team Carrie from JN Burnett. If you guys want to turn your cameras on. That's Eric, Jared, Megan, Melanie, and Michelle. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
I think we're missing somebody.
I think that's everyone.
Oh,
There he is.
there we go. Wow, it's so nice to see your guys' faces, even if it is for the first time, since everything is remote. How are you guys
Yep.
doing, though? How are you feeling?
Good.
Feeling pretty good.
Good, good, good. Yeah, why don't you guys maybe tell us about your app for everybody who doesn't know and like what you've been working on the past few weeks.
Okay, sure. So simply put, our app, which is called Family, because family meal, yeah. It facilitates a decision maker that helps chefs at home, so maybe like your parents, or if you hire a home chef, people like that, to reduce time deciding what to cook and more time actually cooking, and also allowing them to spend more time with their family.
Cool, that's awesome. That sounds like something that a lot of families could get use out of.
So for each of you, what did you enjoy the most about Game of Camps?
So for me, I enjoyed getting to work with other people I wouldn't have had a chance to work with at school.
Personally, I enjoy the development challenges the most. They are quite fun and are a good practice of my logical thinking.
Something I enjoyed the most would be the feeling of accomplishment after learning something new or contributing something important to the team.
I personally really enjoyed the lectures and workshops because they taught me a lot of valuable life lessons that I think will be helpful for me going into the future. And I also just really enjoyed the experience of getting to work with new people and spending time together with them and going through this program together.
Yeah,
Those
and
are such nice answers. Sorry.
I like learning a lot more about the development and design industry. So like more about you guys, our mentors, and hearing about your guys' experience and when you actually work in it.
That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, sounds like you guys enjoyed quite a bit of things here. So if you guys, when you guys were building your app, was there anything that took you guys by surprise?
Yeah, so while building our app, we were surprised by honestly how competitive everyone was. So everyone in this program, there's a lot of talented people, and it made it really intimidating for us when we were like getting our ideas together and doing our problem statement. And yeah, there was just a lot of pressure for us, but it kind of inspired us to make our app even better. But yeah, it's a good thing because because of that competition, we kind of managed to get a lot more done and make a lot more progress than before.
In addition, the amount of effort that we had to commit to building it took us by surprise. I think we can all agree that it was more complex and time-consuming than what we had expected, but we overcame the challenges with our collective efforts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
building an app isn't easy, is it?
Sorry. Yeah, competition is definitely a big motivator. Yeah. So, what was the most interesting thing you learned in the process?
For me, since I'm part of the development stream, I got to see like, since this is my first time actually touching code, I haven't really had any experience before. I just found it really interesting how creative you could get with your solutions, since there are like so many different ways to solve the same problem and how much flexibility there is with the code. At the same time, though, that meant there were a lot of options than I knew what to do with a lot of the time. So yeah, there was something that was pretty daunting, but also part of the learning process.
That's a good problem to have more solutions.
Something I found most interesting, I was in the design stream, and it was seeing how like the professionals, like the mentors, were able to like find the flaws and solutions to a design really quickly. It was also very eye-opening to see how they could remember the names of the fonts and like what they look like, and they were able to like quickly find the font that was like the most fitting for like the situation. I was like really shocked, but it was interesting.
Yeah, so you know what? Sometimes that shocks me too as a design mentor. So you're not the only one. Was what's your guys' favorite part about your app, if you have one?
My favorite part about the app is picking the recipes since it's very customizable and fun.
And my favorite part about the app is getting to browse recipes. So basically, I always find myself running out of recipes to cook. So this part of the app definitely helps save me a lot of time.
Cool.
I think just to wrap it up, we do want to award one of you with the Among Us stuffy.
And me and Annie have decided that we want to give it to Megan because we've seen how much of a leader you've been in leading your team and carrying your team just a little bit. We see how you message everyone in Slack, trying to get the team together for your meetings. Like we pay attention to those kind of things. So we think you deserve the lime green stuffy. And before we pass it to the next team, was there anything you guys wanted to say before we end off?
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Vote
for us.
Vote for them next week. Cool.
Right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so for Tuesday, we have Adrian, Josh, Mackenzie, Mason, and Shane. If you could turn your camera on.
This is a mixture school, so that the dynamics are a little different than the other schools. But we call you guys the special school, the special kids. Hey guys.
Hi, Linda and Annie.
Hello. My camera's not working right now.
Hello. Oh, I don't have a webcam.
Yeah, mine's just not working.
That's okay. You guys can still participate with your voice. Nice to see your guys' faces as well. Cute background.
Yeah, Josh searched up line backgrounds last minute because he wanted to.
Like the coordination.
Yeah.
You gotta improvise, you know?
Josh would know because he's an actor.
You don't improvise, you're screwed. So this is the best background I can find in like a 2-second notice. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Cool. Am I asking the first question, Annie? All right. So, yeah, same deal. Why don't you guys tell us about your app?
Okay, so so basically we asked around, and since most of us are youth immigrants, we found out that the major problem was community. So our app connects youth immigrants based on like different kinds of factors, but it's mostly about like language or where you immigrated from, and connects them and builds a community like that.
Sounds great. What did you enjoy the most about Game of Apps? And this question is to each of you.
Okay, I'll go first. Oh, do
You
I
go,
go first?
Josh.
Okay.
I'll go after then.
Okay, we love the coordination once again. So I think the one thing that I really enjoyed about Game of Apps was talking to others, students from other schools and different backgrounds, and seeing how we work together. Especially since there's two sides, developer, designer, and all of us are from different schools. So it was really interesting to see how this would work out. But in the end, I think it worked out pretty well. So I really enjoyed that.
Oh, I guess I'll go next. For me, it is I guess it's like meeting new people, and then I learned how to like use Figma so that like I could use it in the future outside of Game Labs.
Cool.
In Game of Apps, I enjoyed learning new skills and techniques needed to create an app, and I also had fun working with my team and building a community in the program.
For me, I really enjoyed the workshops near the end because it taught me a lot, especially the Ikigai workshop. It showed me there's more things to consider than just how much money a job makes.
For me, I'm a developer, so I enjoy the satisfying feeling of solving any kind of bug. So like, it bothers me for an hour and then I realize it and I go like, oh, I'm so dumb. And then it feels pretty satisfying.
Spoken like a true developer. I feel like a lot of them would relate to that. What did you guys enjoy the most about just the program that you've been in the past year?
I think I'll go first again. Can you hear me? Okay. I think I really enjoyed like during the meetings, like just the mentors and like how they taught us like how to do stuff for like design side. I think I enjoyed listening to like Justin. It was nice. It was refreshing. Also that one time when he judged me for misspelling a word. That was fun.
So you really like the cultural aspect of Justin roasting you?
Yes, that was like Justin's own segment. He can have a own TV show and that would just be it.
So when you're
you take it away, Annie.
Okay. Okay. I'm assuming that everyone that wants to speak has spoken. So when you guys were building your app, did anything take you by surprise?
For me, it was really surprising was that it doesn't really require too much coding to build a simple app. Like, you don't need like rocket science knowledge of coding or anything like that.
Cool. I think we just to wrap it off. We do have something we want to give someone who we think is cool. I mean, you guys are all cool, but this person gets a stuffy. Annie?
Yeah, so for our team stiff, the stuffy is going to Mackenzie. He's just been like a crucial part of the planning phase and also a leader in development. So yeah, good job.
Yay.
And yeah, I think we're passing it on to all imposters of the event.
Dig deeper. All the great insights lie beneath the surface.
When there is a will, there is a bear.
If you can't do it with feeling, don't.
Hello, team. Team ATE84D. Colin.
Hello.
Ashton, and Angel. Perfect. Bastion's here. Oh, Colin has his hand up, so I'll unmute you. Is Angel here, or does she have a camera on?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, hello. There you are. Perfect. Hi, team. Did you like to start off with telling a little bit more about the app you built this semester?
Yeah, sure. So we decided, well, we thought about our design and our idea for like probably half of the entire like time we had of building the app. But we eventually decided on kind of like a gardening app slash a scheduling app for taking care of your plants, because we were thinking about it, and all of us in our house have like some kind of plants that that either us or our parents take care of, and we felt like it would be very useful for users to have an easier way of taking care of their plants and then remembering certain things like watering their plants, or like to water a lot or to water not that much, so that their lives are just easier. Because originally we were thinking of something like trees or something to do with the environment, but we felt like by making every user have an easier time taking care of plants, we could make the earth a greater place by just having more plants. Yeah.
For sure. And I think you guys also did a lot of user research with that. Can you guys tell me a little bit about the findings with the user research?
Oh, well, at first it was like we had like a lot of trouble figuring out like what we should be doing for our app. But after the user research, we kind of figured out like just because we know what to do doesn't mean like it's obvious for the users. So that was a really big help for us.
For sure. That's great. What about you, Colin or Bastion? Did you learn anything from your user research, the people that you talked to?
Yeah. I think we learned a lot about, because we don't, not all of us take care of plants that much. Not me, certainly. But we did learn a lot of information about what people think are important, and then referring back to the remember that one graph Justin Lim had of what's important in our app. We definitely learned a lot about what we should include and what we shouldn't include.
And what about you, Colin? What about
Yeah.
users you talked to?
Yeah, I learned practically the same thing. It was interesting to know what people it says I don't know plants at all. It was nice to learn how to grow plants and all the stuff related to that.
And how did the design that influence some of your design or what to put in the app?
Oh yeah, it definitely impacted a little bit. And we had to make it more. We had to include more functions for the users.
Mm-hmm. And what about the team? Was there anything challenging or while you're building the app?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, one thing I already said before is we had a very hard time coming up with the idea for the app, because we just didn't know what to do. But after we came up with the idea, it was also kind of, I don't know, it was kind of hard to like start with a design. It was easier once we like knew what to do after, but it was really hard to start with the design and to start with just coding it in general, because there was a lot of like foundational stuff, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. And did you guys have any difficulties programming? I think you and Angel did the programming mostly, or the development mostly. Did you guys run into any difficulties there, or?
Yeah. Oh, you can go. Yeah.
No, it's fine. You can go.
Yeah, I would say there was a lot of trouble figuring out what we should use for each part of the programming aspect, because I feel like every time we have a new project, because we had like a few projects before this, there's like new stuff that I never knew about. And for this app, we wanted to have our own plants that the user could select. So we needed to find some way to store those plants, and we didn't want to just include them in the app, because then that's hard to like manage. So we decided on using a cloud storage called Firebase, and that was probably one of the hardest aspects of our app to implement.
What about you, Angel? Do you have anything to add on for the development wise, or?
It's like not as much development, more like time management that we had a lot of trouble with. Because right now, like it's last quarter and we're all like busy with a lot of stuff. So it's a bit hard to manage everything.
It is. Time management is one of the hardest things. It doesn't get easier, to be honest. What about you, Colin? Anything on the design side?
Well, more on the time management part. That was really difficult because I have a bunch of other electives to do and extracurriculars. So that was definitely a problem. But it was nice working with Figma.
Figma is really great to work with as well. Do you have any, I guess, after building the app, do you think a designer will be something you might want to pursue?
Probably not.
Very honest answer. What about you, Bastion Angel? Is development something you might want to pursue?
Yeah, probably. I think I'm the only one in this team that has a previous development experience because I do like coding. I've tried making some games on Unity, and I think making apps is definitely another really cool aspect, and one that's probably easier, honestly. So yeah.
What about you, Angel?
Honestly, I thought coding would be like I thought I'd really enjoy it, but turns out like it's not really as much for me. It was fun, but I didn't think I'd like I didn't like it as much as I thought it would.
Oh, okay. So good opportunity to explore, maybe to see what you like and you might not like. So the next is there anything else you want to tell people who are watching on YouTube or people who might be voting this week for your team or for your app? Is there anything you want to say?
Vote for us if you want to.
Yeah, if you don't vote for us, you hate plants, all right? Certified will cancel you.
Anything from you, Colin?
Nope, nothing from me.
Nothing from you. Okay. So we're just gonna go end of this portion of the app. And we just want to thank one of the mentors. I wanted to thank one of the team members and give a little bit of a small plushie. So we like to award the red stuffy to Bastion for kind of taking the lead and helping with the communication as well as dabbling a little bit into design when it was needed as well as be really fantastic as a developer. So we like to give the little plushie to you.
Thanks.
Great. And then I'll move over to Leanne. She's going to introduce Team Hello World. Hello, hello world.
Hi.
Right. So, oh, I think Leanne's having a little bit of difficulty with the audio. Okay, hello. So we'll just start off with tell us a little bit about the app you developed this semester.
So we're all grade 11 and 12 students, and for us, we always and we were talking about the theme of it and everything. We always came back to how we always think about studying, and so we wanted to make that a little easier for students by making it more efficient in time-wise and success-wise. And so we implemented this active recall, which is a study method within our app. And active recall is a less popular study method, but more effective and less time consuming than passive studying, which is like rereading or rewriting your notes. So we wanted to make it more easier and maybe more accessible through our app.
Awesome. That sounds good. Hopefully everyone can hear me now. Awesome. Thank you. So what influenced some of the design decisions that the team has taken when designing the app?
So like we got a lot of our design decisions were like well, we got a lot of critique from our mentors, and they were very helpful with giving us feedback on our designs. And they also gave us a lot of really good resources and like links and videos and stuff like that to like help us. And for the design of our app, we really had like a focus on accessibility, and so we wanted to make sure that like our text and our colors had enough contrast to our background. So which is why we made the design decision to switch our app to a dark mode so that our colors were like easier to see.
Awesome. Pretty great. So what did the designers learn from the user research?
So because we're making a study app, we kind of all thought everyone had different learning preferences. But then when it came to studying, and we used Google surveys to ask a lot of people for our user research, and we found that there were specific features that a lot more people liked than others. And through this, we were able to make a priorities list of which one we wanted to implement first and then last. And so, for example, we implemented like flashcards and practice tests and a sharing feature over a timer.
Nice, nice. All right, this question's for the developers. What was the most challenging features to implement in your app?
So the most challenging part was probably implementing and linking our app to the database. So since we have the same mentors as the last group, we're also using real-time database, which just as the name kind of explains itself, updates information from and to the database in real time. And it's, as they said, one of the many functions of the Firebase console, and which is the Firebase console is great for basically just creating and developing mobile and web applications. And yeah, so we were inspired by our dev mentor Wilbur to use this platform, and it's been very, very useful and helpful. But it was also very challenging because it's our first time working with any sort of database in general. But so yeah, that's the hardest part.
Does sound challenging. So overall, how has participation in the Game of X program changed or helped the direction that you will be taking with your education after graduation?
So like at school, I've taken like technology and like photography classes. So like I learned how to use like a bunch of different applications like Photoshop and Illustrator and stuff like that, and a bunch of other like new media art styles. So like I really liked like creating things of technology, and so when I tried Game of Apps, recommended by one of my teachers, I learned the steps and experienced the process of building an app, which opened my eyes to design as a possible career path for myself, and has also influenced me to apply to schools with like this type of like thing.
That's pretty awesome. Well, good luck with the applications. What about anyone else on the team?
Yeah, like originally I joined Game of Apps just to try to get experience and see what it was like in technology related fields. But then Game of Apps made it clearer that I want to do something design related, similar to Caitlin. And I'm in grade 11 now, so I'm just thinking about applications. And I would probably go somewhere related to this path now that I've done Game of Apps and have tried it and I liked it.
Ooh, lovely. So we'll see you next season as well, Sarah, then. All right, so we have 1 minute left, so I would like to award the next, wait, the stuffy. So this person will be awarding the Red Among Us stuffy, has taken it above and beyond in terms of leadership. The energy has seems to bring the team together, and they're integral in communications between the teams and the mentor. This cute little award goes to Sophie, yay! But unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, so I'm sure that the team will make sure that they get the little squishy. I will be handing it off now to Orange Juice, and we will see what's on the dock.
close your eyes. Isn't it dark? That's how your future will be.
I care only because you care.
Be the change you wish to see.
Hi, is Ali here?
Hi.
Hi. Nice to see your face for the first time. Nice to meet you, I guess. So starting today off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and just introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah, so I'm Ali. I'm the developer at Team Soda, and the app we made was Spend. I'll go next question. Go a bit more to that in the next question.
Okay, great. Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about your app and like what inspired the idea?
Yeah, so our app is essentially like a financial tracker app, and it came out like we came up with the idea basically during our initial research. We knew we wanted to like help solve a problem that many people were currently experiencing, and something that even we would experience later on. So we came across a few statistics that really highlighted how many people were suffering from financial-related stress and anxiety, and it was quite shocking how many people actually have to carry that stress around. So we basically found like a clear connection between like financial literacy and financial stress, and we thought we could help solve this issue. Yeah.
All right, so once you had the idea all set in mind, can you tell how did the design process go for you guys? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So yeah, basically we had like initially we were just doing some market research and we found a couple other apps that we wanted to go through. So we played around with those apps and we just got like a feel for the layout. And eventually when we had like a good idea of like what other apps are looking like and what we didn't like with them and what we liked with them, we just started putting together a general design, and over time we just worked on it and developed it.
Right. So then now speaking of the development, how'd that go? Can you tell me a little bit about your development cycle and some of the challenges you might have faced?
Yeah, so development cycle. So initially, when designers were just like working on the initial design, I was just like putting together some basic features on the page that we're going to use, like a pie chart, for example, or like the different fragments and implementing databases, stuff like that. Just so when the time came to actually start implementing design, it would just go much easier, and we could just implement the features we already had built. Yeah.
Did that approach to the development work out for you the way you intended?
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. Most of the time was like just implementing the stuff already built, so it saved us a lot of time and also helped us organize the code better. And yeah, that was a big part of the development cycle. We had like focus on trying to make it as organized as possible, so we don't have a mess. We don't go through the mess that we did last time. Yeah.
So what was the hardest challenge that you had to face, and how did you end up overcoming it?
So I guess like there wasn't a single challenge that I would say was really hard. I would say it was just like the collection of trying to implement certain features, like the Firebase, for example. That was probably the hardest, mainly to do with like delays between actually getting the information and sending requests for it, and just that. And yeah, I want to like I fix it by getting help from mentors and just like writing out the processes on paper. Just help me go through it.
So if you had a little bit more time to add, say, another feature or improve on another existing feature, what would it be?
I think that feature would be like the ability to add recurring expenses, because I feel like that would be useful and not take that much longer to implement. So, yeah.
And now the big question that I would like to ask is, if given the opportunity, would you use this app yourself?
I would definitely use this app myself, and one of the reasons I was actually like dead set on making this app was because I believed that I would actually be able to use it later on, and I really wouldn't want to make an app that I wouldn't use personally. So it's simple, it works, and as I mentioned earlier, during market research, when we went over these other apps, I found a lot of them I didn't really like that much. I guess they were like unnecessarily complicated and just like not easy to use.
So did you end up getting what you wanted to get out of the program?
I did actually, yes. I learned a lot just by like forcing myself to commit to something, and that like that drive from the program helped me learn new stuff, and also taught me time management and skills like that.
Right. Obviously, working with you from the past few months, we know that you are a very strong developer. Do you think you'll continue on, like studying computer science or striving to become a software developer in the future?
Yeah, I think this program did like help me solidify that path. I was like fluctuating between a few different career choices later on, and I think I'm more set now on software development and that side of stuff.
All right. We have a chance right now to talk to everyone watching, and some of whom are community voters. So here's a chance for you to give them a message. What would you like to tell them? Maybe how are you going to get them to vote for your app?
Vote for us. It's a good app. You can use it, and yeah, that's all I can say.
Okay.
Yeah, vote for us.
Those are the questions that we had. So, like all the other teams, we're also going to be giving out a orange Among Us stuffy, and that'll be presented to you, Ali, because you are an exceptional developer, and you also managed to take on most of the design elements of the app. And from what we've seen, it looks amazing, and we can't wait for you to show it off at the actual regional championships.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, looks like we're having a little bit of trouble here. There we go. Ava, are you all right over there? Oh, she got disconnected. Let's just.
I think her
wait for a second.
Wi-Fi is not working really that well.
Okay. Oh, she's back. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, first of all, let's have you guys all introduce yourselves to everybody. Can you tell us your names, your roles in the program, maybe your grade, and the school you're from?
Yeah, sure. Could you hear me? I don't know if my headphones work.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So, hi, we're Team 28, the Magic School Bus Dropouts. Our team consists of Anita, Isabella, me, Eva, Basil, and Jaden. We're all from Sentinel Secondary School up in West Van. As I said, I'm Eva. I'm in grade 11, and I'm a developer for this team.
I'm Isabella. I'm in grade 10, and I'm a designer.
I'm Anita. I'm also in grade 10, and I'm also a designer.
I'm Faisal. I'm in grade 9, and I'm a developer.
And we have Jaden. We have Jaden in our group. He's also a developer, but he wasn't able to join us today.
All right. Well, first of all, I'd say it's nice to see all your faces for the first time. So I guess nice to meet you in person, or not quite in person, but by face. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your app?
Yeah, we wanted to create a mental wellness e-journal app to help our users alleviate stress by making a safe place to write down anything they want. And also a safe place to set goals for the future, because we believe it's very motivating to look back at the past and strive to be better than who you were.
Can you tell me about the design process that went along with this app idea?
Yeah, so we started off with referencing other e-journal apps and seeing how they structured everything. And then we brainstormed our own ideas and we combined all of them into a rough first draft. And then we added features, refined, and then repeated that until we had an app. And the user testing was really hugely beneficial for design because we got a lot of good suggestions and infos from that. For example, we changed our whole color scheme and palette. We added new pages, and we changed our badge spelling.
Do you have any more details you can give us about your user testing phase?
Yeah, so the user testing phase for developing our app has greatly improved our app. With the thoughts and opinions of our users, we had a fun time reviewing our app and making it more appealing. We had a wide variety of users testing our app, people from different age groups and backgrounds, and they all helped out in finding the common mistakes in our app. For example, one of the users was very confused with how the app was displayed. So we had to review our app and try to adjust it so that everyone and anyone can figure out the flow of the app. Also, we had a couple of spelling mistakes. So it was nice to have a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th view on our spelling mistakes. Yeah.
Well, it's great to hear that the user testing phase helped out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So were there any features that you were particularly proud of that you implemented? And could you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, we created a goals page for our app. So we like the goals page because it helped the users keep track of their mental, physical, and maybe even educational needs. For us, we procrastinate sometimes a lot, for me personally. And we find it hard to write down certain tasks, and we need to get it done. So it motivates us to do so. It kind of gives a sense of control in the user's daily life, which can be comforting.
All right. So in contrast to the feature you're super proud of, what was one of the challenges you had to face, and how did you overcome it?
Trying to find a time for everyone to meet up for meetings and discussions. We all have pretty busy schedules, and trying to find the perfect time for all of us to meet can be difficult. We try to be as cooperative as possible, giving each other some slack whenever we miss a meeting. We informed one another afterwards to make sure we were all on the same page.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah, so communication is oftentimes a very difficult aspect of teamwork, and especially with it being online, I'm glad you guys were able to get that all sorted out. If you had more time and you could improve on one thing in your app, what would it be?
If we had more time, we'd maybe try to implement like a reward system where there's a page where you can gain points, which will then lead to maybe gaining a gift card or a subscription to, like, let's say like Skillshare, for example. We'd also try to add features to organize the data we got, like maybe in a more like systematic way, like with graphs. Sorry, my sister is laughing. Yeah, kind of like that.
And now the big question I always like to ask these teams is would you buy or use this app yourself?
Yeah, honestly, like when we first had this idea is mainly based off of us needing it. So yeah, kind of need this app. So yeah, we use it, especially because we're high school students going on to university in a few years, and we probably need it to keep ourselves in shape and in check.
Cool. All right. So again, we will also be handing out a Orange Among Us stuffy to one of you guys. And from this team, we chose to give it to Isabella. Yeah, yay. We just found that Isabella seems to be always very active and vocal during our weekly stand-up meetings. And although maybe it's not like intentional or official, she almost seems to take on like a leadership role inside the team. And we really appreciate that. And it's great to see someone, stepping up and helping everybody work together. So yeah, congratulations, Isabella.
Strike first, strike hard. We must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey.
Seize the day. Carpe diem.
Hello there. We're Team Super Saiyan. I'm Ronald, one of the mentors, and we have Jeff and Vivian with us. The first team we will be talking with today is Team Failure. We have Kian, Ryan, and Leo. So, Team Failure, how about you start and tell us about a little bit about yourself and the app that you made?
So I'm Ryan. I'm a designer at grade 9.
I'm Keon. I'm a designer. I'm also in grade 9.
I'm Leo. I'm a developer. I'm in grade 10.
Okay, so actually, before we get into your app, how about we talk a little bit about your name? How did you come up with the name Team Failure, and why did you decide to stick with it?
Well, I mean, we're kind of just setting the bar low for ourselves. So when we do make something, it exceeds what we originally thought. The bar is already very low for us, so.
Yeah, well, we as the mentor team definitely I'm so glad to see that you stuck it through the end, and that you have something to show in the upcoming regionals. So with that being said, tell us a little bit about the app you made this year.
All right, so this year we created a kind of financial tracker app for teenagers. It's supposed to help teenagers like manage their money. They're supposed to learn to not spend it all at once or just spend it when you get it. Just try and save up and manage it more than just having it, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead.
It allows you to set goals for yourself. So it also also teaches a habit for saving up the money instead of spending it immediately.
Cool. So all three of you have different roles to play in a small team as yourself. So what's the most valuable skill that each of you have acquired by going through Game of Apps this year?
I believe the most valuable skill I learned was to manage the group and just keep everyone informed and working together, like working together as a group. I think that's one of the skills I've learned.
I think one skills I learned is the importance of communication in the group, because without it, we can like keep track of our progress and know where each other is at.
Yeah, I'll also say communication, because if we didn't, we couldn't have got anywhere.
Great. Yeah. I mean, we definitely hear a lot of that from the other teams too. So it's good that, you learned that was such a valuable skill to have in the program. How about something that, you found maybe as a team or individually to be like kind of a big challenge that you had to overcome to get to finishing your app?
Probably that there was a massive workload since there was only 3 of us, and it was hard not to procrastinate since there was so much work to do, and then we didn't want to like do it all, right? So I just keep saying like, oh, I'll do this later, or like I'll make a roadmap. I'd make a roadmap, but then like I'd keep moving it down. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was hard to not do that.
Yeah. So the challenge for me, I think, would be just trying to get all the work done because I get distracted very easily, especially now that we're all working at home. I'm literally 5 feet away from my bed, so I could just, anytime I'm working, I could just feel like tired or something and hop in, but I'm just trying to keep finishing all the work and, just get it through.
Yeah, since it's currently working at home, there's a lot of distractions. So sometimes it's hard to, when you like start working, sometimes it's hard to stay focused. And this sometimes like we had a roadmap and then this kind of delayed where our progress in the app.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean this year has definitely been unprecedented with everyone working from home. So I also truly empathize with the fatigue of being on Zoom calls all day. So definitely, it'll be interesting to see how we work and we go to school post pandemic. If we will have more of a hybrid scenario, or how much of this work from home culture we'll be able to retain. So before we wrap up, what did you learn from reflecting back from all the 24 weeks? If you were to do this again, what would you do differently next year? If we were to do it again.
For next year, I think I would just try to, since this year I've had a lot of extracurricular things and I had to focus a lot in school, so I would think I would need to make more room to spend time working for this. So, yeah.
For me, I think it would be for like the last few for the design process. I think I can be smoother on that instead of just sticking to one idea. We can have multiple iterations.
Yeah, I'd say I do the same as Ryan. I'd set more time to work on the app.
Great. So before we wrap up, we have to give the MVP plushie. So it was a really hard decision because we all know working with you three over the last 12 weeks or so, it was a really hard decision. But for this team's plushie, we're going to give it to Ryan, just because we definitely saw him trying to keep the team on track and together and moving forward. So congrats, Ryan.
Thank you.
Okay, and with that, we will be going to InnoFuel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're back with InnoFuel. Would you go ahead and tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
My name is Jay, and this year I'm a grade 11, and I'm a developer for this team. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, my name's Angelica. I'm also in grade 11, and I'm a designer in this team.
And I'm Maggie. I'm also in grade 11, and I'm also a designer.
Great. So tell us about what you made this year.
Yeah, so this year we decided to make a modernized gamified version of a studying app that basically allows you to track your assignments, tests, and other events. As well, it also helps you by helping you set goals through the quests that are in the game. And by completing these goals, you're able to receive a form of rewards through in-game items.
Cool. And how did you come up with this concept of this app for this year?
Well, for the concept, we basically thought about the problems that we had in our own life, because right now we're also students and sometimes we struggle with planning of some assignments, right, and managing events that are happening. So we wanted to create something that would alleviate those problems as well as encourage working on these things. As sometimes it might be hard to motivate yourself to be on task and not be distracted.
Great. So this year, if I'm not mistaken, is not your first year in the Game of Apps program. What have you done differently than in the past?
Well, this year is the first year I've taken a developer role on the team. So it was just working on a different side of the project, which was really interesting because I could see I have experience knowing like what the designers are doing, and I can apply that when I'm developing the app.
How about Angelica and Maggie?
Yeah, this year was also I've also taken a Game of Apps. It's not just my first year. And I'd say just like the program, it was quite different, you know, as it's all online and development and design is currently split. I would say that I really focused in on the fundamentals. I really learned more about that when it came to designing apps, you know, learning all about the typographies and really hammering in on those fundamental elements.
Great.
Oh, and this year was actually my first year in Game of Apps, so everything was pretty new to me. But I felt like I fit in pretty well, and I had a lot of fun.
So reflecting back now on the 12 weeks, well, the 24 weeks total, but the 12 weeks, what did you know, for JE and Angelica, you know, this is your second or third time going through this. How would you do, you know, if you were to join again next year for season 5, what would you do differently? And for Maggie, you know, after the first year, what kind of things did you learn that you didn't expect to learn?
Okay, yeah. If I were to join again for season 5, I would really start working like really hard at the first stages of the project because I feel like that's the most impactful stage, you know, really like setting yourself up to, you know, work hard and not procrastinate a lot to leave everything last minute. And yeah, that's what I would change if I were to join again for season 5.
Yeah, I think if I were to join again, I would want to go deeper into the abilities of like Android development, so to make more complicated features.
Yeah, and this year, something that I learned that I didn't expect to learn was maybe communication, because the team I was joining, like Angelica and Jay, I already knew them pretty well, so I thought we wouldn't have any communication issues. But throughout, I think there were some issues with communication, so I didn't expect to learn how to communicate properly.
Great. So with the bit of time we have left, it's time to give away the Super Saiyan plushie. And for this team, it was especially hard because it was a small team, but we really did see everyone pitch in to each of their own strengths. So because we had to pick one, all three of the mentors, we're going to give this plushie to JE. Just because you'll see coming up in the regionals, the amazing, crazy stuff that she's done in Android Studio. So we really want to just commend her for the effort of, trying out something new this year, coming from a design background. So congrats, JE.
Thank you.
And with that, we're going to actually move on to potatoes. Thank you, InnoFuel. welcome back and welcome Team Potatoes. Let's start off and get us to tell a little bit about yourself.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi. Wait, so we're talking. Okay. Wait, so we're talking about ourselves?
Yes, yes. Just maybe you can tell us your name, what you did on the team, and yeah. let's
So
start with
my
that.
name's Michelle, and I'm a designer in our group. Yeah. I guess I was kind of project manager in a way. Yeah. Okay.
I'm Alton, and I'm a developer for Potatoes.
I'm Jason, and I'm also a designer for teampotatoes.exe.
Great, great. And I think we have one or two more people in your team, if I'm not mistaken.
Just one more person.
Yeah, I'm William. I'm a developer, and I don't have a camera.
Okay. Okay. No problem. So tell us what Potatoes made this year.
We made an app where you can input the classes that you have at the moment. You can also add like additional notes like the room number that your class is in and your teacher's information, so like their email. So it's basically like for you to access what types of classes you have easier rather than having to go back to your schedule every time to double check.
Cool. And how did you come up with this app idea?
So we came up with the app idea because we're students ourselves and we're going to grade 11 soon. And we did like a thing called course selection. So like we had to pick our classes and stuff. And I personally found it a bit confusing because I didn't really like remember what classes I had picked. And if I like, yeah, so I thought of like the app idea would which would be like a class organizer because I thought it would be useful for students to not have to go to like their school website to double check what classes they have because you have to like log in and stuff. It's kind of annoying. So we thought of like having an app where you could just add them all in like really easily. Like so you don't have to go to that website. You could just open up an app and instantly see it.
Cool. So as far as I know, this also isn't the first time for some of you, if I'm not mistaken. How did you find this year being all virtual and online?
Alton, would you like to speak?
It was probably a bit more challenging because online, you don't really, you're not really pushed to where you have to do it. But when you're in class, there's more of an incentive to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I
joined this year, so I don't really have anything to say.
Well, for the first year, how did you find going through this program the first time?
It was pretty cool, you know. I mean, it's the only time I've been here is online, so it was quite an experience, you know, to learn about teamwork and other things online to, you know, how to create more, how to collaborate more online because it's easy to do so in person, but harder to do online, I think so personally.
Michelle?
Can I add on? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So last year, I personally thought it was more fun because, like, obviously there wasn't Corona, but at the same time, I felt a bit more engaging to be in an actual work environment and like see your teammates in person. And also like see some of the mentors in person as well. It was easier to access them like by asking questions in person. Although like
this year we did do it online. We got to meet some of the other mentors that we didn't have in person, and like I guess talk to some other new people that we've never talked to before. So I guess this year was like it was cool meeting new people, but I would prefer being in person because I thought it was more engaging.
Okay. Yeah, I also found it challenging in the sense of trying to meet all the, all the participants. It's really hard to get to really know, put a face to the name. So yeah, I definitely find that to be a challenge as well. So in the remaining time we have left, we also have to give away the plushie. So for this team Super Saiyan plushie, we're going to give this to Michelle for trying to keep the whole team together and also persevering through all the challenges the team has faced through the season.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, Michelle. And so with that being said, I'm going to hand the time over to the Blue crew and Kevin.
Get comfortable with discomfort. That's the best way to learn.
Expect the unexpected. Even the best Formula One drivers need a world-class pit crew.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin, and we also have Adrian and Peter here, and we are the Blue crew. So we have three magnificent teams that we're going to have our showcase with. The first team up will be Team Ecolution. All right, you're up. All right, so we have a team of two from Sentinel, and they'll be competing against heavyweight teams with group sizes up to triple the number of members, and they're doing well. So could you please, for each of you, could you please give a brief intro, including your name and your role in the team?
Yeah, so I'm Marcus. I am in grade 9, and I'm the only developer on this team.
Hi, my name's Kalen. I'm also in grade 9, and I am the designer on the team.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. All right, so feel free for either of you to answer, or for both of you if you want. The first question I have is, how did you find out about Game of Apps, and what made you decide to join?
I can go first. I heard it, I think, through my school, and then my mom relayed it to me, and my mom told me, like, you should do this, you should do this. And I was really reluctant at first. I thought, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to be good at this. I don't know if I should do this. But in the end, I just decided, you know what, I'll do it. And I think it paid off. I think I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I actually heard it from Marcus. He actually told me about it. And I wasn't sure if I should join the designer and developer role, but I had done a lot of coding in the past few years, and I just felt like I wasn't really into it. So I decided to just become a designer for this course and really kind of elaborate on that. So yeah.
All right, and yeah, definitely glad that you guys did ultimately join and enjoy the program. All right, so next, being a team of only 2 members, you must have faced a lot of unique difficulties with limited time and resources. How did you overcome these challenges as a pair?
Yeah, I think we knew each other really well, and I think that was probably the biggest thing. We pretty much see each other in person every single day, so I think communication was less of a problem. I think the biggest problem, I think, was mostly the opinion. There wasn't very much opinion on how our app looked or how our app would do anything. So I think the mentors really helped with that. But yeah, I think it was the lack of time, the lack of people on the dev side really took a toll. I think if we chose to have more people, it would be, I think it would be a lot of help, and it would have been a much easier job. Galen.
Yeah, I think the lack of opinions on like the design or the development part of the app was really filled up by the mentor's advice and feedback. It kind of like filled up the roles of that, and we were able to kind of complete our app pretty well in the end. So, yeah.
Okay, it's very good to hear, and it's good that you were able to make use of your limited resources and know what you are capable of. And also, what motivated you to stay, or what were some ways that you were able to stay motivated throughout the program?
Caitlin, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I think like honestly, throughout like all the mini challenges, I was really enjoying them. I was really enjoying being a designer and learning lots of new things, and also learning about like how to be a good team member, and getting lots of feedback from the mentors really helped me through that. And yeah, I didn't feel like there was any reason to just like leave. I feel like I was already kind of like in too deep into this program. There's no like motivation or anything to leave. So yeah.
Yeah, I think at the very start, I actually wasn't too into it because I felt that I lacked the knowledge to code and stuff. But I think once I was able to, or we were able to sort of, I guess, sort of make what we wanted to make, it was kind of open. I think I kind of enjoyed it more. And I think, yeah, I think the challenges definitely helped. I quite like problem solving, so I think that sort of motivated me to keep going, because I knew that all of this would just be a bunch of problems and I would need to solve them to get the big thrill out of it. So yeah.
Okay, thanks very much for your answers. Now, also given that you actually chose what would have been the name for your app right when you formed your team, although you didn't end up using it, so Ecolution, what inspired you to create your app?
It was actually it's hard to explain. I think it was mostly, we had another partner that was actually part of our group, but during like the middle of the project, she decided to part ways and I think leave the whole program itself. She sort of came up with the whole idea, and she came up with the name of the team because we couldn't think of anything. So we decided, you know what, let's just think of a name on the whim. And she thought of that name, and it was just so basic. And we just thought, you know what, it doesn't really matter. Let's just do it. I don't know if Galen had anything else.
Yeah, I think we decided to stick with like the main concept of our app, because it's kind of like a growing concern like right now. So we thought it would kind of motivate a lot of people to use it. So.
Okay, and yeah, it's good that you already formulated an idea very early on. All right, so as with all the other teams, we're going to be awarding an award or a plushie for each team. Now, for this one, it was difficult to choose because you both fought the odds of being in a two-person team and excelled, but we do have to choose one, unfortunately. And we chose this particular team member because of him being at the forefront and taking the lead, asking questions when we're stuck in a difficult position, and with scheduling meetings. So this award goes to Marcus.
Thank you.
So congrats. You'll be getting an Among Us plushie. All right. All right, so we're going to be hopping over to the second team, which is Impeccable. Is Impeccable here?
Yeah. Yeah, we're here. I'm here right now.
Okay.
Okay. I think everyone else is here, but I don't know if their cameras are on.
Okay. Well, if they are able to join, please do, including a bit later if you need to. All right. So we have the impeccable team impeccable. And would you like to give an introduction, Cheaton?
Yeah, my name is Chapin, and I'm the developer of a team.
My name is Miles, and I'm a designer on the team.
My name is Arya, and I'm also a designer on the team.
My name is Bobber, and I'm a designer on the team.
My name is Cameron. I'm a developer on the team.
All right, thanks. So I believe that is everyone. So thank you very much for joining. All right, so again, please feel free for one of you to answer, or one or more of you to answer as we go along. So firstly, what were some of the most valuable lessons that you learned from working in Game of Apps?
Well, personally, I learned teamwork very well, despite a lot of the struggles we've had. The teamwork aspect, and the learning of how to properly work within a team will benefit me throughout my life and is not just a superficial takeaway from the course.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably agree with Cameron. Like, it'd probably be teamwork. Like, has like, even though it was kind of difficult at first, like I feel like teamwork is like a key aspect to like maybe like engineering or coding, and then also like time management. Like, to imagine like our time in the program was kind of also hard, but like it's like a really valuable thing to have.
Yeah, I think teamwork helped because then you have other people to give feedback and bounce ideas off of.
I also think that project management was a big part, the things that we learned as well.
Yeah, for sure. It can be daunting hopping into these roles, especially within just a few weeks, but they are very valuable to learn, and we're definitely glad that you were able to pick up on them. And also on a related note, because of how spread out across the lower mainland your team is, I mean, with representing schools from West Van, Delta, and Vancouver, what has working remotely taught you as a designer or developer, depending on your role?
I think that it taught us that like we should take the initiative and like try to get in contact as soon as we could, and instead of trying to like delay the meetings or like trying to like postpone the contacts, we would like a good thing would be like to have frequent meetings and keeping on track with your teammates.
But a big thing that I personally felt is I had a lot of trouble with the online aspect, as there is no like personal face to face, so it's easy to just brush off working as like, oh yeah, well, I'll do that later. I don't have any immediate consequences. But then the time flies by really fast, and you're like, oh no, it's due tomorrow or it's due in a week. I gotta start working.
Yeah, I would agree. Probably like it looks so it's online. It's like sometimes hard to like connect with other people because it's online.
I think we had the most trouble with this because none of us, well, a couple of us were at the same school. Then we could never see each other, and then it wouldn't really remind us of the program. We couldn't really talk about it at school. It would be only through Zoom.
Yeah, it makes sense that it is a difficult situation with the pandemic going on, and yeah, hopefully you'll be able to take away a lot of lessons from this. And also, do you have any for the people on the team? Do you have any plans to pursue a career in technology after this program?
I was thinking like engineering, like in like some sort of engineering, like maybe not exactly like coding, but like some kind of engineering in like some field. Yeah.
My personal favorite part about computer sciences is more of the algorithm building, other than like the building of apps. So most likely something that either involves something that involves just mostly algorithms and computer science, and not entirely like not app building and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that everyone then? All right. Well, thanks so much, everyone. And for the awards for the Among Us plushies, we as the mentors have chosen to award this to one particular team member who showed up to all the Tuesday meetings. Also has reached out to us to schedule a call outside of our usual class time. The award goes to Chitin.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks very much. And with that, we'll be hopping over to our final team as well as the final team for the showcase tonight. And that is Internet Explorers.
Thank you.
Wait.
All right. All right, hello everyone. And as usual, please give a brief intro, including your name and your role within the team.
All right, I guess I'll start. I guess guys, you just want to do your name, role, and favorite soup, just to spice things up.
Spice, sure.
All right. So I'm Kevin. I'm a developer, and my favorite soup is chicken soup.
All right, I'll go next, I guess. My name is Matthew. I'm a designer. My favorite soup is chicken noodle soup, and I like K-pop BTS.
My name is Micah, and I'm a designer. And yeah, my favorite soup would be chicken noodle soup as well.
Hello, my name is Felix. I'm a designer, and my favorite soup is orange.
Hello, I'm Aki. I'm a developer, and my favorite soup is tomato soup.
Okay. It looks like that's everyone from the team. I think we're missing Kayla, is that correct? Okay. All right, so thank you very much, everyone. And just for the record, my favorite soup is cream of broccoli. Fight me. All right. So yeah, first question I have for the team is, what are some of the moments that you enjoyed most about Game of Apps?
I guess I'll go. Oh, here. Do you want to go? Go ahead. I insist. Go ahead.
My favorite moment was when I almost on the roulette when I almost got a sticker, and then it slightly went to the side.
Oh, I remember this. Oh. Okay, I guess I'll go then. My favorite moment was winning best presentation for the second project. By the way, thanks for Carrie, whoever was in my second team.
All right, I'll go next. My favorite moment would be the roulette, like Aki's, but instead of not winning, I got last. Out of the 20 people, I was chosen last.
Okay, my favorite moment would be just designing stuff on Figma with other people.
My favorite would probably be like some of the times when you'd spend a while like on a certain part of the design of something and it would end up like looking really nice, and that was just satisfying. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing your experiences. Wait, is that everyone? Sorry. I think that it was everyone.
Yeah, everyone but Kayla, because her mic's not working or something.
Okay. All right, the next question I have is, would you buy your team's app and why?
I can go. I would not buy it because I already have a fitness app that I use, and I've been using it for a long time, and all my data is in it. So yeah.
I like to point out for the record, our app will be free, though we will bombard you with ads. I'm just saying. But it really depends how much the app is. If it's like $1 or $2, sure, that's a steal, you know. But if it's like $20, no, I'm not wasting my money on that.
Yes, Aki.
Even if I would want to get it, I don't think my parents will let me.
Well, you just got to go the microtransaction route. Oh, yeah, one more.
I would say I'd probably get it because there's not really any other health app I'd use or that I'm currently using, so that would probably be, yeah, something I would use.
Okay. Oh, thanks very much. And for the record, I would at least trial it out first. All right. So your team was motivated to try out many ideas beyond what was taught, including what we've seen, following best practices. If you had more time, what would you like to take? Where would you like to take your app next? Yes, Aki.
I'm still deciding on which is better, Work Manager or using services. So I would like to take proper time to choose between the two and choose the best one.
Yeah, I feel like with a bit more time, I would like to incorporate some new pages onto our app.
Okay, go ahead again.
I would also like to optimize it so it would save more battery. So whenever it detects it has lower battery, then I would like it to send less requests for GPS data, so it does save battery. So it'll
Okay. All right, and I believe that's everyone then. Okay. We have very little time left, so we're also just going to jump to the awards. So for this particular team member, whom we're going to be naming in a bit, they've consistently shown up for group and mentor check-in meetings. We also felt that they took initiative in coordinated group work while being productive with their own development work. So the Among Us stuffy goes to Kevin. Not me, but the other Kevin. So congratulations.
Thank you. I have one thing to say. Can I get Pog in the YouTube chat?
I believe this will be replayable. All right, so thank you very much, everyone. And thank you very much, Internet Explorers, and I'll be handing it back off to Roland.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, students. Thank you, mentors. It was great watching everyone's showcase, just hearing about your experiences, hearing about how you built your app. So I'm looking forward to the actual regional championships, the divisional championships. So that's May 15 and 16. Division 1 on May 15 and Division 2 on May 16. So just a quick recap on what to expect. We're going to start with a pre-show. The mentors have something nice planned for you. It's a bit of an entertainment, a little bit of fun pre-show, and then we'll jump right into the pitch presentations. So as a reminder, your pitch presentations in your code is due on May 8th. That's this Saturday, I think. So once we receive that, and then we'll show your videos in your pitch presentations on the live stream, and then the judges will ask you a question. And then you'll have a few minutes to answer the judges, and then we'll go on to the next team. Then at the end of all that, during all that time, the community voting is still live. So get all your friends, your family to keep voting for you. And then we will close the voting after the pitch presentations are complete. And then we'll do the awards presentations after that. All right, so that's quickly at a high level, that's what to expect. So it'll be similar to today. You'll all be joining the Zoom call. And then when it's your team's turn, then you'll go on live. And then it'll also be live streamed onto YouTube. All right. And then the top 3 teams from each division as chosen by the judge, plus the fourth team, which is chosen by the community votes. So those 4 teams from each division will then go to the provincials. All right. So the winner of the community votes basically gets a golden ticket. They automatically advance to the provincials, regardless of how the judges evaluated them. Okay. So it's an incentive for you guys to get all your friends, families, and classmates to vote for you. All right. The live stream links are on our website. If you haven't already done so, download the Game of Apps app, both iOS and Android. You can vote using that app, or you can follow the links on our website, gameofapps.org, and you can vote that way too. All right, so I think that's it for this evening. Thanks so much for tuning in, and catch us again on the live streams for the divisionals. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.